So what's up guys, and welcome back to another video, and we have quite a few updates today in relation to Fallout 76. Todd Howard recently did an interview answering a few more questions which I'm pretty sure a lot of us had about this game, so I thought it was worth covering in this video today, and let's jump straight into it. So we're going to break this down bit by bit. I'll show you guys clips of the interview as well as we go along through. But the first thing I want to talk about today is mods, and mods are confirmed to be coming to Fallout 76. Now, they're going to be coming in a bit of a different way, and I'll roll the clip for you guys now, and then we'll come back and talk about it again after.
Now, the fans, I think, want to know about mods in an online environment. You know,
Sure.
It's such a huge part of, your games over the years, BGS. How are you going to treat the idea of mods or user content in this environment?
We love mods,
Yeah.
and so we are 100% committed to doing that in 76 as well.
Okay.
We will not be able to do that at launch, though.
Yep.
Our goal for launch, this is really new for us, is have a well-running, robust service, and then some period later, we're currently still designing what that service looks like. You'll be able to have your own private world and be able to mod it and do all of that. We think with our games, that's where like the long-term life of them really is.
Yeah.
That is trickier when you get into an online world, but we're definitely committed to that, just won't be at launch.
And that's where I have to agree with Todd. The longevity with these types of games usually does rely on, mods to be coming out and, experience fresh new content for it. So when we heard the game was online, a lot of us freaked out thinking that, well, there goes mods, they're going out the window now. So I'm glad that's not the case. I'm glad they're coming, and one thing I'm really happy about is you're going to be able to use them in your own private servers or private worlds, which I think is a great addition to the game. Now again, it is coming shortly after launch, so it won't be happening immediately, but even so, it is a great feature. I'm not going to lie though, I still do have my doubts about this, like, how are they going to be introduced? Are, mod creators going to be able to make whatever they want and bring it into the game, similar to the way you would use Nexus mods and stuff like that? Or are they going to pull some sneaky shit and do it, only through Creation Club or other means like that? So we'll have to wait and see some more info based on that. I'm still very skeptical about it, but either way, I'm happy that they have announced that it is at least going to be a thing within this game. Anyway, moving on to the next part of the video, which is going over the online experience of the game. And this clears up a lot of the confusion that was given at Bethesda's E3 showcase. So again, I'll go ahead and play the clip and then we'll talk about it straight afterwards.
But a lot of people are kind of wondering now, the fact that you're doing this more of this sort of share world experience, and you said, hey, you can play solo, but a lot of people were asking me, it's like, can I play offline?
You cannot. You will see, even if you're playing by yourself doing quests,
Yep.
you will see other players.
Okay.
And you can interact with them, or you can ignore them, because there is a quest line. One of the main things that I saw feedback was when we say there are no NPCs. Okay, so that's one of the big differences that we really leaned on, which is every character you see is a real person.
Yeah.
But there are still robots and terminals and holotapes. So if you see a lot of the quests we do in Fallout 4 that are kind of this found world quest thing, we still do all of that.
Okay.
But then, so if you sort of picture doing those quests or you watch someone play Fallout 4, it's like that. But then, as opposed to running into a gang of raiders, those are real players.
So there's some really interesting stuff within that, and the first thing to talk about is the game is completely online. No single player, no offline mode. It's online. You can play solo, but at some point you most likely will stumble upon other players, which really sucks in my opinion, because not everybody likes to play online games. While I'm not gonna lie, I do believe this game is going to be good. It genuinely looks like a lot of fun to be able to go, into this huge open world with a group of friends and go questing together, fighting and building together and experiencing this world together. It's not for everyone though. A lot of people do go to games like Fallout and Bethesda games in general to have that single player experience and get immersed in this huge open world with a vast storyline and all the awesome stuff that comes with those type of games. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that aspect of this. But again, I do think the game is still going to be fun and I'm willing to give it a good try. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But Moving on from that, another thing he mentioned, which I don't know how I feel about this. I'll have to wait until I get hands-on with the game and experience how this really pans out. But he mentions how there's no NPCs, or at least interactable NPCs where you could maybe get quest lines from and stuff. And to me, that already sounds horrible. That doesn't sound good whatsoever. He does mention that, how you get the quest is mostly environmental. Maybe you can stumble upon a certain robot or a holotape or a terminal, or maybe you just enter, let's say, a cave or something and find like a letter or something like that. That's kind of how these quests are going to be found. Which again, I don't know how I feel about it. We'll have to wait to get more hands-on with the game before we can really judge how that, really feels. Because when they say it like that, it just sounds horrible to me. But moving on from that again, now moving in to more of the PvP aspect of the interview, where he discusses a lot more about how this can kind of work.
So there's always PvP, like you can never,
Well, first of all, I'd say we're still dialing that.
Okay.
We don't want it to be griefy, but we want to have some drama there.
Okay.
So there is a way that you can decide to do PvP, and we are currently balancing kind of the incentives for someone who wants to be very aggressive to people and those who want to ignore it.
Yeah.
And that really comes down to the in-game incentives and then also the social incentives. But I would say we don't want it to be griefy in any way, and we'll dial it in so people can say, look, I don't want to deal with that.
So you can pick. It's like I don't want PvP.
Well,
you want a little bit of a little fear, I guess it sounds.
We want a little bit of drama there without them ruining your game.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. A lot of people are wondering, VATS obviously in an online environment. How is that going to be accomplished?
Still there.
Okay.
It's real time.
So it's real time VATS.
Yeah.
Okay. Not slowing time, really?
It doesn't slow time.
Right, yeah.
But it lets you target and pick parts and all of that, but it's in real time. It still works great.
Yep.
It's different, obviously, because it's real time.
Yeah.
But the basics of it, which are, I'm not that good of a Twitch shooter.
Yep.
You see some other games. That's a good reference point. I won't even mention it. People will dig into it too much.
Right.
But you can kind of picture how it works.
Like
I'm not as good at lining up someone and getting a headshot, but I've made my character good at VATS. Oh, and now I can do that.
So again, we have quite a bit to talk about in this segment. And first off, he does mention that, of course, there is going to be PvP in the game. He does want it to be, have a little bit of drama to it, but he doesn't want it to be too griefy, which I think is good depending on the level they dial this down to and how they implement it. In some survival games, the griefing can get way out of hand and really toxic. So it'll be interesting to see what they do and the incentives they give for you to either attack someone or not attack them. Another thing as well is that whole nuke system. While it is going to be really difficult to be able to get your hands on the nuclear launch codes, the fact that you can nuke someone's base has me very concerned. Although you can move it wherever you want, they did mention that, you can build a base and then move your base. The whole nuke thing, very concerned about that, but that's another aspect. Again, we'll have to see how it's implemented. Another thing they mentioned there is the VAT system, which now works in real time, and it's very interesting. That's going to be very different. I feel like for those of you out there who are really skilled at shooting people in these types of games and have really good aim, won't even need to use VATS and won't even need to invest in it in your skill tree. Or at least that's some advice I would give from what it seems like so far. And I guess it kind of depends on how fast you can use VATS. Usually with VATS it does slow down time to an extent. But now with it working in real time, it won't be as slow. I feel like when you're in a fight with someone, for you to start using VATS directly in the middle of the fight will put you at a disadvantage, if anything, you know what I mean? So again, I don't know how it's, fully been implemented, and we'll have to wait and see how useful that VATS is actually going to be now. Anyway, moving on to one of the final things of the video, which I'm actually really happy about, is the talks of content being produced for this game for years to come. And I'll go ahead and play the clip and talk about it again after.
Okay. Do you see this as sort of, a game as a service where there's going to be content, there's going to be endgame raids? Is it like, are you treating it like this, where it's sort of going to continue to evolve over time?
Absolutely. With this, there's so much in it. That's the other thing. We always do too much stuff, and there's so much in this game that once we find out, here's what the players like, or here's what they're missing and they want, since we've built a system, our plan is to be adding into the game constantly, tweaking it, and have that long-term interaction with all of our fans.
So as you can see there, he does mention that they are planning to make, you know, content for years to come. He does mention endgame raids. I don't know how, you know, true that's going to be, because the other guy is the one who said that. But I like the idea of this, you know, tough enemies that you can fight and really strategize how to tackle it, with good loot systems in place, and for you to go in there with friends and, you know, experience that. It's going to be awesome. And the fact that they're going to be continually adding to the game is only a good thing in my opinion. Overall, I still think the game is going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of downsides to this, of course, with it only being online and, you know, certain other aspects of the game. But I think the game's going to be good. From what I've seen so far, I think it looks great. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Of course, because the game is online, I will most likely be playing and seeing some of you guys in the game as well. So I can't wait to actually get my hands on it. But other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy this updates video today. As always, I'm going to be keeping you guys as updated as I can with this game. If you enjoyed the video today, be sure to leave a like down below for at least 5 years of good luck. If you leave a like on this video, you get 5 years of good luck, guys. Believe me, it's 100% true. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you all in my next video. And also as well, I'm getting an even more updated version of my intro. You may have noticed already that the 76 is there, but I'm getting a much more in-depth and better looking version of it coming very, very soon for you guys. So look out for that as well. Anyway, peace.